Hello, my name is Paul Gibson, and I'm here to speak about polygamy. And I'm not against it. There's a chime or it hits to the bone that a invasive species has taken control of. Typically, a Mormon. Mormon, I've have investigated it, is a salamander, one of two that croaks Mormon, and I went back to Indiana to swamp to find them, and there are salamanders over 6 feet long, and they will. Well, I was fortunate that I wasn't eaten or killed by them. Excuse me. I didn't mean to gross you out. But I'm here to say that the Mormons, uh, they are not human, and there was a runaway press. And I was born in Sugar House, Zootah, and Zootah, you become a spy. Every Mormon hates you because you are human, and that I'm going to spy on them. And they have methods of blacking out your memory until you're getting way old. And the Mormons came to Utah. Someone put up their songwriter hit right here. It says Zootah, Hogle, Zoo, and because that's what they are. The Mormons are zoospecious salamanders, other zoospecs like spiders, toads, and whatnots. And I went to Utah history when they teach it in the 7th grade, and oh, I forgot his name, Johannesburg or something like that, was the teacher, and he would come out and admit to other Mormons while I'm in class, I'm going to be blocked out at the end of the year, the school year, for spying on these Mormon zoomens. That it was a runaway press that some lady or some person put in the newspaper, and he had reference to it, were polygamy, and it was a runaway press back in the 1800s. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the person who wrote the article, but he wrote the article back in a New York newspaper, and the Mormons had carried it on after that they were polygamous. And they are clones, and they are rotten, non human things that, well, you can call them reptilians who attempt to replicate humans and try to hit on the bone. And one of them is polygamy, because I'd love to fuck several hundred women, and this here is for only a few who have the instincts of it, to breed, to fertilize young beautiful women. And is what the Mormons had done is replicated that, because someone dropped the word on them, polygamy, just like they dropped the word crickets on them, because they came out to Utah to eat crickets. And I baited in the president of the United States with a green four-leaf bug. I can't remember the name of it, but they will go to extremes to get to it. And I was able to kill JFK in Dallas by baiting him in. And it was in the newspaper. I buy bugs, a buck a bug. It was in a expensive shoot, and these Mormons all came out here to eat crickets, and there's 30,000 other European settlers out there beforehand, and they had killed them all off. And I was speaking to a British historian on that. He leveled with me that they had over 30,000, and the stories were very grim. And so what the Mormons are doing, they're trying to stick their zombie god on some basic instinct in hopes of luring in women to amputate their limbs, to kill them, and use polygamy. They're hoping that there may be a war, and this here is taught by their Utah history. I was in their class, 7th grade, and so it's what I'm saying, that I'm not against it. I'm for it. I'm for myself, but I'm for genetically compatible, good-looking women. And they try to their zombie god out in outer space. So you don't want to go there. You think that's heaven. You're going to be hearing people. There is that alien invasive zombie god, Zeus. You might refer to him as Jesus, that the Mormons always try to cleach to with polygamy. And those Mormons just ache your guts with their vibes on it, thinking that they own it and they're control of it. Uh, but out there in outer space heaven, if you think it's going to be heaven, you're going to listen to this. You're going to be on the same plane as Zeus, and you could be hearing every casualty on Earth. You could hear people saying, "Oh, Jesus, help me, help me! I'm being murdered," and you can pick up this sensation that a beautiful woman is being hacked to death. Or you can hear an old man moaning that Jesus, save me, and it's not going to be heaven. You're going to listen to every casualty like you're out there in a World War I front battlefield. So the Mormons are not humans. They're you can call them reptilians because they're trying to replicate a human body. But I've been to Arabia since I was a young boy, and I lived around harems, and I never thought anything of it. And I was, I was brought up with it that hey, I would like to copulate with, 20 to 100 to 1,000 women, and preferably virgins, young virgins, and I don't have anything against it because it's hitting my instincts that a invasive species is using the same thing to attract him, just like some spider would to, throw up a scent on his cobweb to lure him into the tract. But I was in Arabia for several years, and I became a master swordsman. I mean, it's every American boy's dream to become a swordsman. And I'm the only one who's lived it. I was a master swordsman. I took, about 80,000 lives over there with the sword. I became real good. I should have had a harem, but they're not in my genetics. So I did hang around, sheiks, oil sheiks with harems, and I was always told by one never to go in there by myself because I had blue eyes, brown hair, and they might slit my throat. He's the one sheik said that not to go in there because he doesn't trust him. It's possible because of my genetics that they might just cut my throat or do whatever. But is what I wanted to say is that the Mormons, I mean the girls, I love to I love to get in them and fertilize them or and have a good time. I mean, I do more than one or two or three. I can go on. I think of it as a 8-hour job day. But to mix religion with it is really ugly. It's so ugly. Uh, let's see. And these hair, and they look like clones. But however, if I was to fertilize and have you know, uh, several hundred or 50 offspring when they look alike. But the thing is, they are clones, and I've seen them in uh, Orem LDS clone facility, big frogs that they make them out of. And and these here I am suspicious of that they could all be Mormon type of invasive species. But for myself, I'm for polygamy, for having several to 100 wives. and to have a harem of women. I'm for it for myself. Other guys, I'm not certain of. Other women, I think they're compatible on the idea on having one man to inseminate them and to have offspring. And I just want to bring that out that the Mormons are trying to use this polygamy. It was a runaway press, and not to buy anything of religion and polygamy. I would say don't buy any religion, don't buy any death god. Only listen to earth earth warrior gods, and I work out real good because they got their death god on their side. I got my warrior gods on mine, and I send them right back to their god dead. And so it always worked out, and I've taken casualties into your enormous beliefs. But I am for myself polygamy, and for anything Mormon or religious trying to gain on to it with an alien invasive species of a zombie, I would say no, because they're fake and they're trying to lure women into it uh, with that view to murder them. And I've seen that done in Utah so many times. It aches my heart, and I've always tried to help them, and I've always, killed him into the thousands, if not millions, and it turns out that they are a clone, amphibian. A lot of people want to call them reptilian, but I call them, whatever they are, because there's a lot of other diversities in that. But don't ever believe the Mormons about polygamy. Don't ever, don't ever associate with one. They're awful right to the court, and they can bribe you at you know 300 miles away on writing something on internet. I can pick up a Mormon, or the Mormon will pick up on me and just eat your bean out. And you ask them, "What are you doing it with?" And then a picture comes out of some amphibian, and they are awful, disgusting, non-human replicas trying to take over everything and trying to infringe on anything of mankind. So I just wanted to tell you that, and like I say, I've been around harems in Arabia, and it's always been compatible with me. But I just don't want you to be suckered into any Mormon or anything wielding a zombie on them. Any death god in outer space is not a good god. It's going to have cruelties of a zombie, you know. So let me wrap this here up. Okay, I got to get back. Thank you. Have a good day.